This is a screencast on how to describe the features of a recount. Now in class we looked at certain 5 really key things that we look for in a recount. First one, there's lots of verbs used and they're very specific to do with what the recount is about. The events are sequenced in order from beginning right through to the end, so a sequence chart's going to be quite useful in what we do, and describing the events, scene and characters. So the descriptions give the events, describe the events, the scene and the characters in the text. The introduction sets the scene, and there's inclusion, which is usually just the end of the recount, and connectives. And we use a series of connectives that just help us to sequence the ideas. The key kind of thinking in a recount is sequence. So if we just take this recount here as an example of what we've got here. So if I just zoom in here, now the opening paragraph in a recount is called an orientation. And in the orientation, as you'll see, I've just written down here, it will go over the where, what and when. It orientates the reader to knowing, to putting themselves in that world and looking through the events through the person's eyes. Then further on down here, they will start to use descriptions to start describing the events as they unfold. Now, this can be a possible place you can use similes to describe using some of those feelings. But one of the things that's really important is they just don't describe what they see. It's how they're feeling about the events as they go, what they're hearing, what they're seeing, what they're smelling, what they're tasting, if appropriate. Be really clear that when you go to write these and when you're reading them, that they will give you all the senses, because that's the way human beings are. You like to use all our senses to interpret the world as it's happening, events as they're happening. And you'll notice that in yellow here we've got some connectives which have been highlighted. And these will help to, if you like, the connectives used often are versions of after or next. Different ways of saying those things, because that's what a recount is. It's just telling you about the events as they happen.